Your reasons for listening to the show, well, those are your own. But just keep in mind that the views, information, or opinions expressed on the Tuddle Daily Podcast are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent those of our sponsors. Yeah, it's called free speech, people. Nobody's forcing you to listen.
Get ready for your daily dose of Tuddle.
The all-time greatest intern/producer we've ever had, of course, Tuddle. Tuddle in Florida.
From the Hobo Fish Camp, it's the Tuddle Daily Podcast.
No wonder nobody likes you, Tuddle. Everything's a goddamn debate.
Greetings and welcome to another edition of the Tuddle Daily Podcast. Make sure you go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Tuddle. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as that bell button, because when you hit that bell button, you're going to get alerted to any time I go live or I upload any new content. If you would have hit that bell button, you would have known that myself and Charlie Alaimo went live doing our new Sunday show that we do starting at noon. We're going to do it right before the NFL season kicks off. Charlie, how are you?
I'm doing well, Tuddle. Yeah, we got a great little program idea planned for you. Today was just a test show, so going forward, it'll be pretty cool. We're going to hope you kill some of that time right up until the NFL games, kick off. So that way you got something to do instead of watching the same talking heads talk about how long can you talk about pregame football? You just want to see people hit each other, for God's sakes. You don't want to hear about it.
Yes, I want to see people hit each other.
You don't want to hear speculation for an hour and a half. It's too much, especially when you get to Super Bowl time and it's a week of speculation. Speculate. Who's going to win? Well, guess what?
People know.
No,
I mean, look, if it was a science, there would be no, degenerate gamblers. You see what I'm saying? Because, I would rather have a pregame show of a bunch of degenerate gamblers like Artie Lang and just, people that just lose their asses on gambling do a pregame show, in my opinion.
In my opinion, I'd like to see Scotty Farrell do a pregame show because he wins money, and I like his gravelly voice.
Charlie, if you want to check out Charlie Alaimo, you can find him on Twitter at RealLameCharlie. One of the stories that I wanted to talk about, you worked for a dispensary for a little while. And I read this story, Runner's High Gets New Meaning. A new book argues that marijuana-fueled run can boost performance and make exercise a lot more fun. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. And quite frankly, I think Joe Rogan's one that speaks out a lot about it. He does it before he works out too. It does. It makes you you feel you're relaxed to begin with, and then, lifting is that much nicer.
Arnold used to get high as fuck, right? After he would lift.
Well, he loved the pump. Everybody knows this.
Yeah. Well, in the story, it said, for the people who find the runner's high elusive, a new book offers this suggestion: run high. Josiah Hess, he might be a part of the tribe, if you know what I'm talking about. Yep. Josiah Hess, a runner and author of Runner's High, How a Movement of Cannabis-Fueled Athlete is Changing the Science of Sports, argues that more professional and amateur athletes than ever before are working out stoned. Now, how do you feel about athletes like that sprinter that got banned from the Olympics for smoking pot? If it was legal, she smoked it in Oregon, right? How is that against the law? Isn't it legal in Oregon?
Yes, it is. And not only that, but it's not performance enhancing. If anything, it's mood enhancing. So if you can do something like that, it would be no different than somebody, taking, I'm trying to think of something that would be
like an ice bath. That's
anything that's going to enhance something like that, because for the most part, a lot of people don't have the same reactions, if that makes any sense, to smoking as other people. Some people get really lazy. Some people get very motivated. It just depends.
Let me ask you this. You're more of an experienced pot smoker than I am. And also, I want to ask you this question. What do you think about the people that say that I'm technically not sober because I smoke pot?
California sober?
Yeah, well, but what I'm saying, though, is I'm off of all the mood stabilizing drugs. I'm not taking any pain pills or any other drug pills. I just smoke a little bit of weed to help me out with my anxiety. Like, would you consider I'm still sober?
Yes, because weed is completely different than doing any sort of alcohol or any sort of.
There's no additives. There's no additives.
There literally isn't. And you know what? And it, if anything, it's probably not only helping with the mood, but it'll give you an appetite when normally you wouldn't have one because of anxiety or stuff like that, which I can attest to. And no, it's not. It's completely different than you going and picking up a bottle of fucking vodka and fucking smashing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
and
that's
actually,
legal. That's legal.
It is legal. And you know what? I
kills more people.
I was talking to my cousin about it because he actually recently got sober. He realized that he had a bit of a problem. A bunch of us do in the family, you know, drinking. There's a history of it to begin with. So you just can't put it down sometimes. I took a break for it for a good long while. And then I discovered that now I can have a couple sips of some liquor every now and then. I'm not going to have any beer because I know exactly what that'll be. Couple packs later that I'm going to be still looking for more for some reason. I don't know why that happens with that, but
I don't even waste my time with beer.
See, I didn't either for the longest time because I used to just be a liquor person. Then I kind of eased up on that after I got back from Alaska. And I don't know what it is. I would just love drinking fucking beer. I loved slamming Miller Lights. That became the beer of choice.
Isn't things more expensive up in Alaska because of
very much so
how it has to get there?
Cost of living and travel and yeah, exactly. Especially where I was living, which people are like, where was that at in Alaska? Imagine the whole state of Alaska, and then the little part that kind of butts up against Canada down towards the bottom where Juneau is. I was right above Juneau. That's it. I never got.
Were you above the Arctic Circle? How far away from the Arctic Circle were you?
I was a good chunk away from Fairbanks, which is where old swinging Sarah Palin was from.
Now, but also, don't the Eskimos and the tribal people make this illegal liquor that is supposed to be even stronger than the moonshine the hillbillies make here in the United States?
That's up in they drink fucking rubbing alcohol up there, Tuddle, and hairspray and all kinds of stuff. You've seen Alaska PD or whatever the fuck on National Geographic.
Highway Patrolman at Alaska Highway Patrol.
They're doing their job. They're the Highway Patrol, and they're busting people drinking hairspray. It happens, Sometimes you just got to get liquored up, and the only thing that's around is rubbing alcohol.
What about hand sanitizer? I mean,
God. What do you think they did during COVID? Their booze was in jeopardy when all you got is hand sanitizer and things that are used to kill germs. What do you think you're going to do? You're going to kill the germs that are in your head, not the ones on your hands.
If I'm just being honest, though, the Eskimos would be the ones that you would want to get their blood and try to study it for the sole purpose of it being immune to COVID. Because the Eskimo people, are they considered Indians, Native Americans? Are they different? Do Eskimos look down on Native Americans in the lower 48?
Well, you know what? That's actually a good question. I've met they're not really Eskimos. They're the natives of Alaska, which have a whole other name, and then there's a whole.
Is Eskimo a derogatory name though? Or
I kind of think so. I never called anybody that. Or snow bunny or anything like that. I don't know what that even means. But yeah, I believe it is. I don't know. Let's just put it this way. They all drink heavily. They fall into the same stereotype. And the town that I lived in, the dog's barking. Yeah, I know. It's because of the natives. They're coming. They heard about the Eskimo term.
Now, but I used to watch that show Below Freezing or Below Zero or whatever that would follow people that would just go up into Alaska, into the mountains and claim their own little piece of land. And there was this white guy, Caucasian guy that married this Eskimo woman. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But he had a warrant out and he had to go to jail for 6 months. And the Eskimo woman, without skipping a beat, was able to provide for her and the 3 kids. They're going out like they figured out like these moose would be swimming across these lakes, and that would be the best time to pop him in the back of the head with a fucking gun. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what they would do is they would just shoot the moose going across the lakes, and then they would because you gotta be quick because mooses are heavy as hell. And they would tie a rope around it. It would almost sink the boat. That's how heavy these moose were. And they would just drag it up to the shore, and then they would field dress it right there. And this bitch was she basically took care of the family while her old Caucasian American husband was off in jail for a while.
Well, yeah, you imagine when you had family members, because that's how they, all learned how to do it. They had family members teaching them that too. She was probably pissed off, but at least there was cameras there, so she knew that she was making some money.
Yeah, but also at the same time though, for example, give me an idea of the prices up in Alaska. Like a gallon of milk down here, it's about the same price as gasoline, but when a gallon of milk up in Alaska be
in 2010 when I lived up there, it was almost $7 for a gallon of milk.
Wouldn't gas be a little bit cheaper since you guys have so much oil up in Alaska? Was gas cheaper?
When I was up there, it was a little under $2, which was pretty good because around Montana it was a little more than $2. I think it was $2.15, and then up there it was $1.89 or something like that.
What is the weirdest animal wildlife you came across in Alaska? All right. Did you get? They got grizzlies in Alaska, right?
Yeah.
But they also no polar bears, though, right? Too far south.
Yeah, I never saw anything like that. The weirdest thing that I probably saw was driving across actually Canada and the Yukon. We a big herd of buffalo, and we look over, and then there was two of them fucking.
Oh yeah.
Which is kind of disturbing, because they're a giant animal. It's one thing if it's a deer or something, which is kind of funny because you're
oh, kind of awkward too, because they got a
very
big
awkward
hump at the top, and it just seems like it would be awkward, sex.
They put the hump in hump.
Have you ever seen a pig, a pig's penis?
Oh, you pay good money to see a show like that, Tuddle.
No, but I mean, for real though, it is a corkscrew. It comes out like one of those Dremel drills, but it's like a wine cork. It just comes out and it's just it's almost like something you would see out of one of the Saw movies. Would you like to play a game? You have 1 minute before this pig penis enters you. And you have to figure out, it was one of those contraptions, but a pig's penis was really, really freaked me out the first time I saw it.
Didn't you tell me you heard it was a white trash wine opener?
Yeah. Well, I tell you, I think I told you the story about the guy, his son played on our American Legion baseball team.
Guilty.
That had a toothpick from a raccoon's dick.
And he'd pick it between innings?
Yeah, he would pick his teeth with a raccoon's penis. Hardened penis that was dried out. And it was,
And he was on your team?
Well, his dad, he was on a team, but his dad would sit there and pick his teeth with a coon's dick.
And didn't you say his son was the only person who hit a home run and caught it in the outfield?
Yeah. He was a really, really good player, but
you said he was white trash wiry, and he used to be able to lean over the fence and haul those catches right back in.
Yeah, dude. But that was one of the weirdest things that I had ever seen in my life. There are times in your life, I know other races, not racist, races, like RACES, not racist.
Oh my God. Where is this going?
Well, I'm just saying that white people, everybody wants to talk about stereotypes with Spanish and stereotypes with African Americans or stereotypes with Asians, but there are some stereotypes with white people. But I think us as white people, we really don't get offended by any of those. Is there any stereotype as a white person that can offend you?
No, I don't really give a shit. I often refer to white people as trash and white trash because a lot of them are, especially up here. There's a lot of shit kickers up here, Tuddle.
Mm-hmm.
A
Like
lot
here,
of
I'll give you
cowboy honky tonk, good old boys. I hate that fucking mentality. Maybe it's because I've lived in so many other places. I don't identify with that at all. The good old boy fucking guy that'd be down there at the honky tonk talking about beating people up and using the other F word.
Yeah, what F word for gays?
Yeah.
Yeah. But like here, we had one bathroom in our double wide trailer. We had two bathrooms, but we never got the second bathroom fixed.
What?
The toilet.
Oh, so just the shower worked?
Yeah, the shower worked in that bathroom. So we would take showers in there, but the toilet didn't work. Well, no. But the one working toilet, there was a hierarchy. Okay. My dad had some bad bowels, from all the drinking back in the day. Okay. So like he had hierarchy. Like if he had to go number 2, it was like there was no like debating it. If you were going to the bathroom and my dad had to go, like it was his bathroom. There was a hierarchy. Dad 1, mom 2, me number 3. Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Now, there were some times where all 3 of us had to go at the same time.
Simultaneous.
Yeah. So dad would get the toilet, and then out the back door, me and mom had a hole dug where we would have to go into the hole and then cover it up as we went. There was one time very awkward having to poop side by side with my mom outside. It was weird conversation, when you're pooping in a hole right next to your mom. Dude, do you get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Do you see how that can be kind of awkward?
It's weird to have to use an outhouse after.
This wasn't even an outhouse.
I know. That's what I'm trying to get at. It's weird enough to have to do that, but to just be shitting side by side in Florida.
In a hole.
Yeah, in Florida, in what I would only assume would be muggy nastiness. Just that. How far away are your neighbors when you're doing this?
Oh, our neighbors are 5 miles away. Like the closest neighbor was 5 miles away.
All right.
Nobody's seeing this. Nobody's seeing this unless you're we did have an airport really, really nearby our house.
Oh,
so I'm sure they did a lot of glider flying there where they would pick up gliders and bring them up in the air and then they would glide back down. So I'm sure some of the glider people would be like, oh, look at that. There's 2 people pooping in a hole.
I'm sure they were gliding some stuff in, but it was probably in kilos.
Yeah. That was another thing.
Or late at night.
Well, I told you this story about how when my dad sold his business, there was a time where he was welding compartments in trucks that were, hidey holes for maybe drugs.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you this story?
He was creating James Bond style compartments. Yes, you have, and I think it's still great.
Yeah, but my dad got paid to do that, which I really don't have a problem with that. Like a lot of people would look down on their dad for doing that, but it's not like he was selling drugs or anything. He was just all right, who says what that hiding department was for? They could have been said, hey, we want you to, cut out a hole at the bottom of this truck. We want you to put a little container that we can put stuff in. Not saying what it is, but we want you to do this. And if you're a welder or a fabricator and they want that, it's none of my business to be able to ask what you're going to put in there, right? But we all kind of knew.
You apply your trade, and you don't ask questions when they pay you in cash.
Now, if you were a cop, would you go after the guy? I think any good defense attorney could get a welder off, not sexually, but what I'm saying, get him off by being criminally negligent for, welding compartments in a van or something. There's enough wiggle room there where a defense attorney, if he's any good, could get your client off.
I'm sure Morgan & Morgan could get you off in one way or another.
But am I right or am I wrong? You'd be like, Your Honor, my client, was just told that they wanted this little compartment underneath the floorboard in this rape type van. He didn't know what was being put in there. He didn't know, like, if they were transporting money for business purposes in case they got carjacked. Nobody could find it. Is it illegal to put cash in a hidden compartment in a van? No, Your Honor. I think that this case is preposterous.
With your luck, your lawyer would be the guy that Ralph Macchio's friend.
Yeah, the stutterer.
For. You'd be stuck with that son of a bitch, and you'd be across from the guy from The New Adventures of Lois and Clark, just grilling you. Hey, you can stay out of my cabin, Lane Smith. Who knows that guy's name? God, I suck.
Oh, that I know exactly who you're talking about. Then he played the newspaper. Like, did you ever notice like how like weird DCU or DC like ripped off Marvel, or was it the other way around?
Did you ever notice how they won't acknowledge Dean Cain as the greatest Superman ever?
Oh, I love Dean Cain. Like, he was way better than that one guy. That played. No, not Christopher Reeves. The one that played the one before what's his face. That played in the Mission Impossible movie. What was his name? God damn it. The one guy that played in and Gene Hackman played what's his face? Oh,
Reeves.
No. Well, no, there was another one. No, what's his face? The guy from American Beauty that everybody thinks is the gay pedophile.
Oh, Spacey?
Yeah, Spacey. That one, Superman Returns was that movie, I think.
Okay, there's too many Superman. What about what about the other Superman that died in the 40s?
Well, Henry Cavill is the one that I'm talking about, the newest one, but the one before him. What the hell was that guy's name? He was a flash in the pan.
The guy from Smallville?
Yes.
Whatever his name was.
I don't even know, but that was such a bad Superman movie.
Yeah, that guy was not a very good actor to begin with.
Yeah, that one was really, really bad.
I was never a Superman fan.
No, I wasn't either.
I liked Batman better.
But J.K. Simmons playing Jonah Jameson in the Spider-Man movies is brilliant, though, in my opinion. He's
fantastic in the Coen Brothers, The Lady Killers movie.
Oh, the Lady Killers, where he has the IBS, the irritable bowel syndrome.
There's no cure, just control. I'd kindly like it if you didn't refer to Mountain Girl that way. He's like, you brought your bitch to the Waffle Hut. This guy brought his bitch to the Waffle Hut.
He is an underrated actor, though. When you say like J.K. Simmons is, like, I really do think what other movies was J.K. Simmons in?
He almost gave up acting because he was in the TV show Oz as the white supremacist guy, and he thought he was typecast as that.
Oz was such an underrated TV show. Christopher Milani, the guy from Law and Order SVU. Isn't it weird that he was like he was a main rapist in jail?
Mm-hmm. He played a crazy character. Chuck Zito was in it. There was a bunch of people.
What about the guy that played that Atabadu guy, the Jamaican, like Santeria type guy? What was
that dude? Was crazy as hell. He was working in the kitchen.
Yeah, and then
the guy in the wheelchair that ended up going on and doing a bunch of stuff, and his name escaped.
He was in the Matrix. We talked about the Matrix yesterday. He was in the Matrix movies. Who was the guy that played Cypher in the Matrix movie? Joey Pants. Joe Pantoliano.
Yeah, he's great in The Sopranos. He plays such a
Ralphie.
Ralph Cifaretto.
Dude, he came into the studio for the Phillips File. And it was one of the greatest interviews, and he was right. He was the only actor that I have ever heard say this. Okay, he says you do one movie for the money, one movie for the art, one movie for the location. You try to do that every year. One movie for the money, one movie for the art, one movie for location.
Yeah, I mean he ended up, because he was in that first Bad Boys movie. He ended up being in the other ones too.
Wasn't he also a pimp in Trading Places? Wasn't he the pimp in Trading Places?
He was and in Midnight Run, he's the bail bondsman, the guy that owns the shop that sends Robert De Niro out to go find Charles Grodin.
But Joey Pant, there are so many great actors out there that have played these little bit roles and stuff that you're like, why didn't they become bigger than what they actually were?
Yeah, he's a guy that should have been in a lot more stuff too. Again, I just keep thinking about, maybe because I just watched it the other day, in The Sopranos. I mean, he had such a great.
She was a whore. She was a whore.
You gotta look. Yeah, that between the chick that he kills in the 3rd season, and then the horse that he kills in the 4th season,
and then that fight between him and
Tony is great in the kitchen.
Where they spray him with roach spray.
Oh, dude, that is so great. And then Christopher comes over and he's all fucked up on heroin, and they got to. That's actually funny that we talk about that, because a story just came out that James Gandolfini and Michael Imperioli were so messed up when they were doing the scene where they throw the body off that thing. They were so
they cut the head off too, right? Yeah, they cut the head off.
They chained him to a tree because they were worried that they would fall off that cliff there, because they just kept running around and messing around with stuff where they were trying to light the scene. So when they go to throw that body off that cliff, you got to picture chained up. They're hammered out of their mind after drinking a bottle of wild turkey between them.
What was your favorite episode of The Sopranos? And there was a lot of stories they did not tie up.
Yes.
And like the Russian, like you remember the Russian
in the Pine Barrens.
And the Pine Barrens, like that one, I wanted to know what happened. My favorite was when Paulie was like, he's like some interior decorator for the Russian.
Russian ministry. And he's like, well, his house looked like shit. Yeah, that whole scene, that show would have been completely different too. Because there would have been that whole arc about his mom testifying against Tony in the third season. But she died. And they did. That was the first time that they did the CGI.
The head on the body. It looked so bad.
So this is how many times I've watched that damn show. I know what scenes they use. Scenes from the 1st season of her when they use the head thing and the hanky wave and stuff like that. That's all from around the 1st season when they throw her in the old folks' home. Because that's the only other scene where she's sitting in the same similar kind of chair and they cut it out. It looks terrible now going back and looking at it, but at the time, it was like, shit. How did they actually do that?
Yeah, it was, but CGI, like going back and looking at it,
CGI, not only that, but in Blu-ray too, where you can actually tell. On the DVD, it's like, okay, you can. It doesn't
because it's so blurry. There, you can't see the fine edges of.
You can really tell how they cut it. Yeah.
Like for example, like I was watching Spider-Man 2 with Doc Ock, Alfred Molina, because that was on. And the part where he grabs Kirsten Dunst out of the cafe and starts climbing up the building, I was like, oh man, this is horrendous. Horrendous.
What's your favorite Alfred Molina role? Because he's had so many of them.
Well, no, but I can't think of any. That's the thing about it, is that he's had great roles.
You know what? I loved him in Boogie Nights as Eddie Nash. They end up robbing him, and he's got the poppers. He's got the Chinese kid throwing the fireworks.
That was the best. No,
I'm sorry. He's great in Maverick too, as the outlaw that he screws over, that they end up in the card game on the riverboat. Remember with
yeah.
He was great in that role. He was, Doc Ock was whatever, and what was the other one that I was thinking? Now I forgot the other one. Damn it. My mind just went blank again. But yeah, I think Boogie Nights is my favorite Alfred Molina.
Yeah, it is. It is, because like when he breaks out that shotgun and just starts spraying everywhere.
He shoots Thomas Jane right in the chest when he tries to kick the door. Yeah, he's a young Thomas Jane, and it's Thomas Jane, John C. Reilly, and a young Marky Mark trying to rob Alfred Molina and that Asian kid throwing fireworks.
That was. And then that big fat black dude.
Playing. Yeah, Faison. No, that was in Wonderland.
But it was
the black guy. Too. I forget what that. She should be with me, and he's dancing around the house in a robe. Actually, I like the Val Kilmer movie that they did, Wonderland, about the real robbery and murder that happened with Johnny Watt Holmes and the Eddie Nash guy that they ended up ripping off.
Dude, but that scene gave me more anxiety out of any other movie scene that I've ever watched, though, because
motherfucking money that's into the motherfucking bed in the goddamn safe. He's like, what? We came here to do something and we're gonna do it.
No, but like, I mean, just the fireworks that were like going off, like every time you heard that pop, you were just like, you would jump. Like, I don't know who directed that movie, but it was a perfect scene with the music, just the setting, the fireworks going off and everything. It just the firecrackers, it was just like, it raised my anxiety to a whole new level.
Yeah, it was P.T. Anderson.
Yeah, man. Ugh.
Great movie, even though that Burt Reynolds hated it. Yeah, and I think the best part is, one of my favorite parts is when Bill Macy blows his head off.
Yeah. Well, he blows his wife and that dude away first.
He just walks in there and smiles and then he shoots himself.
I mean, that's the way to go out like a champ, though. Like, I mean, because there were so many scenes where, like, remember where he walks out into the parking lot and like his wife is getting railed by some dude. Everybody's watching. Yeah, they're all watching, and like he plays it off. That right there shows you like suppressed anger, how it just builds up.
I wonder if that happened at any former radio homes. Radio
homes. John Holmes. I see the Freudian slip there.
Yeah.
Because we're all right, Charlie. Well, listen, man, I appreciate you joining me on Sunday. We'll do it next weekend. Once again, if you want to follow Charlie Alaimo, you can follow him on Twitter at RealLameCharlie. We're going to be talking this week about him doing some Saturday content for the Tuddle Daily Podcast live stream on youtube.com/Tuddle.
And the
make
new
sure you
Sunday
subscribe.
Show, the new Sunday show that we're going to be doing as well. So yeah, a lot of new content. So if you're bored, check it out, subscribe, tell people that you hate and like about youtube.com/Tuddle.
All right, guys, going to take a quick break. Be back in a few minutes. You are listening to the Tuddle Daily Podcast.
Great news, folks. You now have the chance to see the face in front of that sexy voice. Right you are, sir. The Tuddle Daily Podcast streams Monday to Friday on YouTube. Anything can happen at the Hobo Fish Camp. Okay, sir. That's enough. Okay, so go to youtube.com/Tuddle. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you're notified anytime Tuddle goes live. Good job, sir.
If you're in the market to buy or sell a home in Volusia, Brevard, or Flagler counties, you need to reach out to Ian Hanna at ianhannahomes.com. On his site, you can learn more about Ian's use of premium photography and aggressive marketing to sell your home quickly and painlessly. So if you're a first-time buyer and not sure where to start, connect with Ian at ianhannahomes.com.
Questions? Comments? Concerns? Compliments? Or do you just want to tell Tuddle to fuck off? In any event, contact Tuddle. Tuddle@gmail.com. It's Tuddle with 2 Ds, dumbass.
Welcome back to the Tuddle Daily Podcast. I got Serak, who I thought was my friend, texting me and telling me that he's going to strangle me. I don't know. Like, see, if that would be a white person telling a black person that he's going to strangle them, that would be a hate crime.
Okay, no, but I didn't say I was going to kill you.
When it's no, but you threatened me with violence, man.
I mean, strangle you with love. That's completely different. You never choke somebody with love. Where's my girl? I'm just kidding.
All right. I mean, if you know, I've been working out a lot. Remember,
you've been up early. Well, like 5 a.m., right?
Yeah,
catching the sunrise and sunset.
And I've been hiking with a weighted backpack.
Oh, wait. You've been hiking? You throwing bricks in the backpack? What's in the backpack?
Yeah, no, weights. Like I got a Cadillac. Did you like lifting weights? Did you guys call the 45-pounder plates Cadillacs?
No.
I know growing up
why do they call
in the 90s that, like, I don't know, like, we just were like, hey, man, you lifting those 2 Cadillacs. Like, that was like a big deal, you know, because you got to remember, I was like a fucking, like, little scrawny white kid. So, Like if you could get up 145, you were like, all right, cool.
Yeah,
but now
135. That's like the benchmark for everyone. You know, that's where you start 135.
But but I've been like putting a 45-pound weight in a backpack.
Okay.
And that's what I've been hiking with, and I've been doing over 10 miles a day.
Now, when you say hiking, are you like?
I'm going. Well, I mean, hiking. You would think you're going on an incline, but I mean, we live in Florida, very much incline.
So basically, you just walk really far.
Yeah, I'm just walking really, really far. But I mean, like, it's been helping me out a lot, and like I've been. And you know what? My best friend said you're complete full of crap. You don't know what you're talking about with the apple cider vinegar and the turmeric and all that stuff. I've seen a big difference in the burnt, like extra body, that stubborn body fat.
Who said that doesn't work?
I'm not telling you. You said you were like
the person that said that to you. Would you trade bodies with them?
Probably not. No,
okay.
but you said that. Oh, that's all just like like you made it seem like it was witchcraftery or something.
Turmeric does work. The ACV, the apple cider vinegar. It's not. I mean, it's not a lot of research about it, but it's.
I'm sure it makes my semen taste like crap. You know,
I don't think it's bad for you. But I don't think it's like also like that good for you at the same time. You know what I mean? But the thing is, like, if you take it and if you think it helps you, then they say half the battle is mental, so it may help you mentally regardless.
No, when I used to wrestle back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it would make a great YouTube special, me versus you in a wrestling match. Yes, wrestling.
Listen, I'm gonna say this now, and I probably won't say it again. No, I'm just kidding. Nah, you might. I don't know how much you weigh right now.
I'm measuring in 6 foot tall, 180 pounds.
Yeah, it might be pretty even because I'm like what 5'10", maybe 5'10", 5'11", 190.
Man, you're a little short doggy dog, aren't you?
Oh man, well, I'm like, I mean, is it short? I don't know. I feel like 5'10" is not like it's not like mind game short, right? Like I'm never in a situation where I'm like, oh man.
But would you be okay
wrestling
short? Me with the singlet? With the singlets on, like I will buy the singlets
as long as you wear a cup.
Like you know what I'm talking about, the wrestling one where it makes your junk look big and everything. Like I mean, it would be pretty bad. Like you would have already like walked out, and like
listen,
I'd be like, oh,
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind you wearing it, but we're not doing like the starting positions. You know what I mean?
No, we are too. Yes, we're going straight doggy starting position.
Dude, this is straight Jake Paul, Logan Paul type of match we got going on here. There's rules,
and
but
guess
not
what?
really rules.
They're getting paid.
Oh my god!
So like, if we just go around and just like challenge semi pseudo celebrities around Tampa Bay area, like Titus O'Neil.
I knew you were gonna say
yeah, Titus O'Neil would be the last guy that I want to wrestle. But I mean, the only reason I brought that up is because Florida Gators played the University of South Florida Bulls this past weekend.
What a sad game.
Let me ask you this. All right, go ahead and say what you were gonna. I'm sorry. Go ahead and say, and then I'll get to my point.
When you're talking about the wrestling, I automatically thought of remember Jackass, where they used to like chase each other, wrestle each other like random spots, and just do the place.
Just like in department stores, like when they fought Butterball. Remember Butterbean or whatever? Butterbean, the boxer.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
say what you want. Even though he was a big lard ass, like he would lay the wood to you.
Yeah,
like,
I wouldn't fight that guy.
Like,
I fight him now probably, but I wouldn't fight him then.
Johnny, I still wouldn't fight him now.
Yeah, I guess you really don't lose that like punching technique. And then
like some people just know how to punch, right? Like, I mean, they could be the most they could be the most out of shape people in the world. Like, those are the ones you got to be worried about. Like, have you ever heard of? I hate to use this word because I know it's offensive to people, but white trash that have that white trash retard strength.
Yeah.
Like they don't know. Like their mind doesn't tell them, hey, you shouldn't be lifting something this heavy.
You're in pain right now.
I am right now. You're basically giving yourself a hernia later on in life. You're basically ripping your guts out of your abdomen right now by lifting this.
Did you know? Speaking of, I'm not saying like they're white trash because they're definitely not. But you know that redheads, like people with red hair, obviously, can
they're the
endure
biggest
more
white
pain.
trash.
No, but they can endure more pain than the average person because it's some like genetic thing. I don't know what it is.
Because they're gingers.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get made fun of all your life for being a ginger, of course you can take more pain.
No, I mean like more physical pain too. Like
I was about to say. Oh, okay. I was about to say.
Not like they got like a sticks and stones type of mindset, but no, they can take more physical pain. It's something to do with their like I don't know nervous system.
Yeah, because they're freaks.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like kind of like Ninja Turtles.
I mean, they are freaks, though. I mean, come on. I mean, you're pale as hell, living in Florida. You got red hair, freckles.
No,
like
he's
this
not
is
in
the
Florida.
last place you ever want to live.
He's not in Florida. He's my buddy. So he's getting married. He's getting supposed to get married this past summer, but COVID obviously pushed it to next year. But his girl is from London. So the wedding is in
It's
London.
perfect. Irish, you would think, because a lot of Irish people are redhead, freckled, pale skin.
Yeah. I'm excited to go.
I only see gingers living in the North or South Pole, like Antarctica or the North.
Yeah, and like they
you only get
every now and then.
Yeah, you only get 6 months of sun.
But I'm curious though to see like the rest of the family. You know what I mean? Because I've seen like pictures of him and his family, and most of them are redheads. But I just want to. I think I'm gonna take it all in. Seeing like a group of redheads like together is.
Have you ever been with a redheaded woman?
Lord of the Rings, pretty much.
You ever been with a redheaded woman? And I'm not talking about a African American woman that has dyed her hair red. Yeah, I'm talking about true like redhead, and they all get that question. Hey man, does carpet match the drapes? Or does the drapes match the carpet?
I'm trying to think. I think so. Is that bad that I have to like say I think so? Yeah, I have. I think I have. I mean, I don't want to like imagine that I have, but I'm pretty sure I have.
I mean, do you think there's like any truth to the stereotypes of red in the head, fire in the hole type thing? You ever heard that one? That's a very Southern thing. Red on the head, fire in the hole.
Red on the head, fire in the hole. No, I've never heard that.
That's a very Southern thing.
It's always funny to hear like kind of
what
like
Southern sayings. Like my dad always used to like, it's funny when you're younger. Like I used to see my dad like when a good rainstorm would come through, like he would walk out to the front door or walk out on the front porch and just watch the rain and the thunderstorm. Like when you get older, you start appreciating things when you get older. Like does that sound weird at all? Like I always used to wonder why my dad would stand at the front door or walk out on the porch just to watch a good thunderstorm.
Yeah, I mean even the way you dress. Do you find yourself dressing like how your dad would dress?
Mm-hmm. Do you remember like as a kid we'd be like, man, if I do anything like my parents, I'm gonna kick my own ass.
Yeah. And now I'm like, I do everything like my parents.
But are you ever going to get to that point where you're like wearing dad clothes though? Like, have you ever seen those like Geico commercials where they're like first time owners that are becoming their parents?
Yeah.
And they got that guy like telling them like what they can or can't do. Like the guy's buying like a shirt that he already owns like 2 or 3 of them on, and he's like, oh, what do you mean? Like, they're making a whole store out of selling candles? Like, what could the overhead be like that? And then he walks up to a kid at a koi pond, and he was like, hey, do you want to do? Can you guess what type of fish they are? And the kid doesn't answer. He's like, stop being coy. And he's like, get it? There's koi, and like stuff like that, like dad jokes.
I mean, I haven't. I'm not to the level of dad jokes yet, but I'm definitely at like the dad outfits.
Like you're really not caring as much of like looking cool. Like you just wear what you feel comfortable wearing.
Exactly. Dress for comfort. Even if it looks silly. Just dress, well, I don't know. I'm still in that line. I don't want to look silly, but kind of like earth tones type colors. Yeah, I don't know. Like yesterday, for instance.
But has your chick ever like called you out? Like, are you wearing that?
No, I mean, like I think I have a sense of fashion. But like, for instance, yesterday I had on like some like above the knee shorts and like a collared shirt.
Above the knee shorts for an African American gentleman. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to stereotype, like I said, but like I don't even wear shorts above the knee. I don't do it.
and a collared shirt with shoes on, but I didn't have.
Was
they
it a
were kind of like
Lacoste?
loafers, but I didn't have socks on. I haven't worn socks in so long for some reason.
Well, was it a Lacoste, like, with the little gator on the thing?
No. This was I don't know. It was I don't even know what type of shirt it was, but it was comfy. But but then I didn't even go anywhere. I just sat at home.
Have you? I used to feel like even in my early 30s, I felt like a complete douchebag walking into an Abercrombie and Fitch store. Yeah,
oh my God.
Doesn't it make you feel like, unless you're in your early 20s to mid 20s, like you don't have any business because everything is like tight in the shoulders, tight in the sleeves to make your like if you are a little bit overweight, like you have no business being in Abercrombie and Fitch.
Exactly. And the shirts would be so tight. It's like you would think like their shirts would come with like deodorant because it'd be so tight on your armpit, like you would just immediately sweat. Like it was ridiculous. And I remember in high school, like that was the thing though. Like you were cool if you worked at American Eagle or
PacSun PacSun or maybe even like at the van store. Like the van store has become like
hipsters.
But yeah, for hipsters. But
and all they would do was faux t-shirts the whole time.
Yeah, it's really, really weird. Like
really tough.
And then for the longest time I used to go through this stage of buying like these old like retro type t-shirts. Like nobody would ever get, like, like Zelda shirts or something like that.
Yeah, but now they're like cool though. That's the thing.
Yeah, they are cool. I wish I had all those.
Yeah, but isn't that funny how that works? So it's like you have something in style at the time, and then it goes out of style, and then like it comes back out like 20 years.
And now
later.
it's back, and you're like, oh man, I wish I would have kept all those clothes.
Yeah, but now it's like $100 instead of like the $5 you paid just the first time.
Did you ever used to go into what is the goth stores that were in all the malls?
Spencer's?
Hot Topic.
Oh, Hot Topic. Spencer's was a sex store, right?
Yeah. Spencer's like had dirty like joke stuff, but like Hot Topic was like you would see like but like were you ever into the like goth like white girl like hipster?
No. I think that was like
chick,
I think the Matrix
like scene chick
did that. Matrix came out and then like everybody was like made it like maybe semi cool to wear like a trench coat.
Dylan and what's his face, the guys from Columbine kind of ruined the whole
trench coat thing.
Trench coat thing. Speaking of the Matrix, did you see the new trailer? I wanted to see.
Yeah, I watched it yesterday.
Why does it seem like they got Keanu to do the Matrix, but he'd already signed up to do another John Wick movie?
Yeah,
because
I was just going to say that.
It's John Wick as Neo, in my opinion.
It is. I mean, technically it is, but it's like, it's funny because on HBO they had the trilogy, and I rewatched, I think, the second and third one. And it was, it's still a great movie, but then like I watched the trailer of the new one.
How do you not have Lawrence Fishburne in this movie?
Yeah.
That's
Is he supposed to be like a younger version?
Yeah. It's supposed to be like a whole reset, I think. But if you notice in the trailer, like if you notice, like everybody's paying attention to their phone. So I think they're going to be like, oh, it's like a whole like, I don't know, like thing about, oh, we're already wired into the Matrix because we live our lives on social media. Did you notice that in the trailer
when he's in the
elevator and everybody's on their phones and stuff?
Maybe it's just humans are just addicted to not being human.
Yeah, and I discussed this with Charlie yesterday that did you know like the Wachowski brothers are now the Wachowski sisters?
Wait, what?
I did not know this until Charlie told me. I thought maybe they were the Wachowski brothers were handing it down to their daughters, but no, the Wachowski brothers are now like in that Caitlyn Jenner phase where if you look in the trailer, it says from Lana Wachowski. I was like, oh, cool. He's handing it down to his daughter. No, that's one of the Wachowski brothers.
Oh my goodness, I'm looking it
but
up right now.
they're transgender.
Lana Wachowski. and
Lana,
Lily.
Lana.
Lana and Lily.
Yeah.
Wow. You can just do that now?
Yeah, like they're not the Wachowski brothers anymore. They're the Wachowski sisters. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
but,
I
like,
have no
when-
problem with that, but it kind of like it threw me off there for a little bit.
Like, but I don't know, man. Like, when I'm not against it. I mean, I support it. You should be able to do what you want, but like, where's the
Look,
limit?
I'll give you credit.
Like, tomorrow,
listen.
I'm an iPhone 13 tomorrow.
Until you get your penis chopped off,
Yeah, I
like
guess.
you got to go full in. Like you got to go all in. Like you're playing a hand of poker. Like you got to put all the chips in the middle of the table
Oh,
for
man.
like. You see what I'm saying? You got to banana split it, and you know that's what they do, right?
That's like, would you
No,
rather?
they-
Okay, so would you rather be a guy who goes to a girl who goes to a guy?
Well, Dr. Dan Diaco, remember from Bubba's show, he had this
Uh-huh.
saying, it's easier to make a hole than it is to make a pole.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
No, it is, because what they do is they basically split your penis right down the middle.
Okay.
They fold it inside of you, and that becomes your vagina.
Oh, so you don't lose it then? It's just reshaped,
Well, no, you lose it because they cut all the cartilage and everything out of it.
and you can't go back. You can't be like, you know what?
Yeah.
I changed my mind.
No. There's no going back from that one. No.
Well, I
No.
mean, but from the woman's side.
No, what
gain
they
one.
do is look, I'm using the correct word. I know I'm on YouTube and stuff now, so I'm probably going to get
You're not, man. This is science.
partially. Okay, they take the clitoris
Okay.
and they take that part and they enlarge that to create the penile for the female one to change the men.
Okay. Do they get balls or no?
No,
Oh, can't fake that, huh?
no, but they actually have to put like a Reebok pump thing where it's like.
Wait. Wait.
No, it's like a bicycle. It's like, you know how you used to get the Reebok pumps?
Yeah.
You were like, man, I want to jump higher, and you go,
Yeah. Okay. So is that something the
put
doctor
a-
does, or you do that?
yeah, they
like
put
whatever you want as a
like a
person?
little rubber tube in there, and before you want to, you have to plug in the thing, and you go.
Okay. I thought it was like a manual thing, to where
No.
like you just choose when you wanted balls or not. Like you could be, maybe
No
something.
testicles at all. It's a little thing that hooks up that you put there, and you.
Wow, Lance Armstrong is shaking his head somewhere.
And then, but because you remember, like, all right, with men, the head of the penis is the most sensitive area, like, so.
Not really. I feel like you have
Eh.
the least amount of nerves there.
Wait, right under the under part. I'm not talking about the top part of it. I'm talking about that little underneath part.
Okay.
If you're circumcised, that
Okay.
little like area right there underneath the top part. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know
It's
what
a
you mean.
very sensitive part for guys.
Right.
Like, when you agree, like,
Yeah, I mean,
or
like,
maybe you're different. I don't know.
maybe. Like, Tuddle, you need to go get that checked out because you're not supposed to feel that.
Am I crazy by saying that or not? Like,
I'm trying
I'm just being honest.
picture what part you're talking about.
Okay, so you have the bulbous part of the penis. You know what I'm talking about,
Like
right?
the top, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the top of a
and
rocket
then
ship.
and then you have the whole area, the
Right.
urethra part. Okay,
Right.
that little part right underneath of it, at the bottom, at the undercarriage of the bulbous part.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I don't really notice if it's sensitive. You know what I mean?
Okay. I guess I'm just weird then.
No, no. I mean, you could be right. I just never really,
Then what is your most sensitive area then?
I don't know. I would say the back of my neck, probably.
Oh my God. Whatever. I'm talking about the whatever. All right. See, you know what? You
You're not
make
gonna
me
get in
look like
trouble.
such a you make me look like a
something could be wrong with me.
complete
Something could be
loser.
wrong with me. That's a possibility. I think
Okay.
everything works fine though.
Anyways, real quick on college football, by the way, I know we had talked about the USF Gators game. I wanted to ask you, okay, so now this starting quarterback for the Gators, Emory Jones, he's been waiting for 3 years
Right.
to get the starting job, okay? Not saying anything bad. He's still good. He could start at any other place, but this freshman, okay, now this freshman that's coming
Richardson,
in, his
right?
name is Anthony Richardson. He's wearing number 15. His nickname is AR-15. I wonder how well the anti-gun people are liking that name. But like he's coming out and absolutely killing it. Like he only threw he only
I don't know, man.
dude,
It
he
was
threw
USF.
he threw 5 passes and had over 200 yards and ran it 4 times and almost had 170 yards
Yeah,
running.
but it was also USF. It was no pressure. It was
Emory threw 2 interceptions against USF. Anthony Richardson did.
well, it's hard to say. I don't think one
So
game.
what do you do?
One
Do you
game is
go
not
with the
gonna like
freshman?
say you're the greatest thing in college football.
He
You know what I
still
mean?
did the same thing. I mean, Anthony Richardson outplayed him in the first game too.
Listen, I say when they play,
They play Alabama next weekend, by
Yeah,
the way,
yeah.
which is it's the biggest test. I mean, it's the number 1 team in the country.
yeah. So if he plays well against Alabama, or even plays decent, then yeah, man, the kid has potential. But I think Alabama's always gonna like expose the hyped quarterbacks. more
But
than
can you?
anything.
But can you have a system with 2 quarterbacks though?
In college, yeah. Anywhere else, no.
No, you can't. But like, I mean, what if though? Rhythm
like,
is a big
Tim
thing in
Tebow was-
sports. So
Was it
rhythm,
Tim Tebow?
yeah. But I mean, Chris Leak was ahead of him, and Tim Tebow was a freshman. But when Tim Tebow came in, you already knew what Tim Tebow was doing. He was
Right.
running the ball. He was
Right.
running.
He's like what's the guy for the Saints?
He was a fullback. He was a fullback.
Yeah, but he was also but Tim Tebow was also a hell of a leader too.
He was a freak.
But that's what people don't understand, man. It
Hey,
doesn't
what do
matter
you-
Go ahead.
What do you think about Tim Tebow being on Second Take now with what's his face?
I haven't watched it, but who is he with?
The one guy, the guy, the African American gentleman with the other white guy, Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen A. Smith. Okay.
Oh,
He's
so
on
it's
there
gonna
with Tim Tebow?
Yeah, no, Tim Tebow's going to be on now with Stephen A. Smith because they got rid of the other guy.
What? Why did they Max Kellerman?
Yeah, they did. I think so. Yeah.
For what?
So,
Max was
I
always
No, but like, how do you argue with like
Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow? Like you're automatically going to be looking like the bully. You're going to look like the
Yeah.
bad guy. And Tim's going to be like, Stephen A., I see your point and I forgive you.
I see your point, but it's just, I woke up this morning and the Lord, spoke to me and he said that the Gators are going to win. And, I'm not disrespecting any other, I just praise God. But yes, yes, Stephen A., I feel the same way.
God bless
Like,
you, Stephen A.
God bless you. And God bless everybody else that's listening right now. Like,
Yes.
God damn, man.
Even if you're a Seminoles fan that lost to Jacksonville State yesterday.
It's okay.
Did you see
thing
that?
about the good thing about Saturday football is Sunday church service in the morning. How about
Yeah.
that? Can I get an amen?
Amen. But did you see that FSU did lose to a Division II school?
Oh my God. I saw the highlight this morning. It was on Facebook and I just saw like a Hail Mary and then how do you not tackle? I never really understood yeah, okay, he catches the ball. That's hard enough as is.
He
but
had
you
to
have
still run 10
two
yards. You
Yeah,
had
you-
2 guys.
two
You should
guys.
be able to tackle him within 10 yards. At least trip him up.
Something.
Like even if he's way bigger than you, just go low and trip him up.
Yeah, and then you see afterwards, the everybody's talking about how the cheerleaders, it was a couple male cheerleaders, and their faces was just wide open shock.
Like this is the lowest of low for the Seminoles, right? Like I mean, this is rock bottom, right?
What
to
are they,
lose to a
0-2?
Division 0-2. They lost to a Division II school, Jacksonville State.
Oh my God! What FSU's what 8? What's their conference again?
ACC.
ACC. They need to just get out of the ACC and go play. Why don't they go to the Big 12? They've been needing some teams.
No, well, the Big 12 is actually taking UCF.
Oh yeah, and BYU and some other school.
But
Damn,
now
how do you
that-
feel about this though? How do you feel about all
It's
these
not
conference
regional,
switches?
though. But it's not regional anymore, though. Conferences used to be about regions, and
Right.
UCF is nowhere near where the Big 12 is. For example, Nebraska being in the Big Ten. Like, Nebraska is nowhere near like Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State.
I mean, it kind of is. If you go,
it's still in the Midwest, though.
Yeah, I mean, where else would they go if they were to the Big Ten? I mean, I guess the Mountain West.
And now, like Oklahoma, I mean, I don't even agree. Oklahoma and Texas being a part of the SEC.
See, that's like, I don't understand that. It might as well be the SEC versus everyone else.
Well, now what they're doing is they're moving Alabama and Auburn over to the Eastern Division with Florida, and then Oklahoma and Texas is going to be in the West.
See, that's already the issue, that there's even two divisions in one conference.
Well, I mean, ACC is two divisions. See, for the longest time, the SEC was the only conference that had two divisions that played a championship game. And then all the other conferences started seeing like playing that extra game would help you out. You see what I'm saying? Like if you won your conference championship game, like it was a better case for you to play for the national championship.
All the more confusing on who deserved to be where. I mean, it's. But politics. Now
everybody's playing conference championships. ACC's playing conference. Everybody's playing a conference championship now.
Do you think that the playoff system they have now has done better than it was when it was just like the BCS?
There's still somebody always getting left out, though.
Right.
There's always. If you want me to be honest, the only way you do it is you consolidate all the teams into 8 conferences. Okay.
You said 8?
The winner, 8 conferences in the whole United States. Okay. Each winner of each conference represents, because you're playing on accolades by winning. Okay. So what I'm saying is you break everybody and you put them into 8 separate conferences. Okay.
Okay.
Then the winner of each conference, no matter what, because it's based on record, not on rankings, gets to represent in the final 8 tournament.
Oh, wait. So it's based on record? So you have
record? 8 conferences. Yeah, because it won't go down to the top 4. It won't be on voting. It'll be whoever wins their conference gets to represent their conference in the national title tournament.
But what do you do like if 2 teams or 3 teams are tied with the same record?
But it's whoever wins the conference. If you make it to your championship game, you see what I'm saying?
Okay,
like,
so
you have the SEC, the winner of the SEC, the winner of the ACC, the winner of the Big 12, the winner of the Big 10, the winner of the Pac-10. The winner of their conferences get to represent in the tournament.
So within the conference though, so say, what if there's 3 what's the matchup in the conference championship?
Like for example, in the SEC, you got East versus West. Whoever wins the East and whoever wins the West will play for the conference championship, and that winner would play and represent in the championship
the winner
tournament.
Of the East plays in one of the West, but what if the winner of each, say the East for example? How do you?
Well, then it's head-to-head matchups. Then it's all head-to-head matchups. So say Georgia, and Florida, and
they could easily all have the same record.
Georgia, no, dude. If Georgia, the East plays the East, West plays the West. If Florida and Georgia are tied at the end of the year, whoever won the head-to-head matchup is the one that represents that division. You see what I'm saying?
So you're saying there's no way that someone can be, multiple teams can have the same record in a side of a division?
Yeah, but then it would all come down to head-to-head matchups, like it would in the NFL. Like in the AFC East, if the Dolphins and the Patriots tied, whoever won the head-to-head matchup, and then if they were tied, split 1-1, it would be a point difference.
Okay, so like say if Florida beats Georgia, and Georgia beats what's another team in the conference on the same side?
Tennessee.
Georgia beats Tennessee, but Tennessee beat Florida, and they all have the same record. How do you know who goes? Because technically, none of them had a matchup.
Then it goes down to points difference. Points scored versus points allowed.
That's tough. I mean, that it makes sense, but it's also like, I mean, either way, someone like you said, someone's always going to get left out, regardless.
No, but that's the only fair way, though, Serak. Though, do you see what I'm saying? I mean, when you leave it up to people voting,
And then,
There's always going to
if
be
it-
some
but
type
what
of
if it's like,
favoritism.
okay, then what if it's like, which happens to the SEC all the time? Say if the SEC East has the dominant teams. Say they all
They
have
have
one
two
loss,
teams. Well,
and they
there's
play
always
against
two
a
teams.
5-loss East team. You know, it's
It's really confusing. The only way you can really do it is make 8 conferences. The winner of each conference represents, but then you're going to have to get rid of, because you remember at the beginning of every college football season, you always play 2 cupcake teams.
right.
You're gonna have to get rid of those cupcake games. Okay.
Okay.
Play conference only, and you get 1 rivalry game. Because that's a great thing about college football. The final game of the season is always rivalry week. Okay. So you would still be able to play Florida versus Florida State, even though they're not in the same conference.
Okay. They should. Yeah. I mean, I do like the playoff format.
But you got to get rid of. To do 8 games, to do an 8-game tournament, you would have to get rid of the 2 cupcake opening season games. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Or it'd be kind of cool. This is just an idea. I wish they had 1 year they had the conference championships, and then the next year it was the national championship wasn't every year. It'd be every other year.
What college or the Olympics? We only did
Olympics,
it every
or
2 years.
Not the World Cup, the European Cup. So then
or the Ryder Cup. No, the Ryder Cup in golf they do every 2 years. Every other.
But your record would be of the 2 years, not the 1 year.
Of the 2 years. Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
so
but
for redshirt freshmen, for
that would make it interesting, because then you would be all right, it would be over a body of work where it's okay, yeah, you might have lost some studs from the previous year, but then it's planning of, it's more of an average,
Right.
rebuilding.
Right.
I could see that. I would like that too.
So then you can have because how certain schools they don't play every team in their conference that year. You know what I mean? It's
it's the same thing with the SEC. But they're gonna have to get away with that. For example, Florida plays LSU every year, but they're in the West.
Right. But now if you did it every 2 years or every other year,
you get a better sampling size.
Exact. So then you actually would have the best all around teams who wiped the Alabama that beat everybody and some, playing a national championship or playing in the playoffs or whatever it may be. Just an idea, though.
Do we hate Nick Saban because he just wins all the time? Or do we hate him because he's an a-hole?
Honestly, I don't think it's Nick Saban, man. It's his team, man. He's a hell of a coach, and I think he deserves everything he's credited for. But come on, now, it's easy to recruit the best talent when you are the best team.
Yeah.
It's like LeBron, right?
What do you think about the players being able to make money off of their image? I think it's a great thing.
It's a great thing. But what's going to happen is, though, it's going to change the whole landscape of college football. Right? Because you're going to have so many. I think it'll motivate. I think it'll be way more competitive. I think it'll motivate players to be as good as they can.
If you were at USF, wouldn't you go to the hottest bars? If you were a star player at USF, you'd be yo, after every game, I'm going to come party at your bar. I'm being dead serious. You would be able to get away with that.
Yeah, but you still have to follow within the NCAA rules and stuff as a student athlete. Yeah, you can get paid for stuff, but you can't go to the bar and get hammered or make a fool out of yourself and stuff like that.
It's legal to get drunk.
Yeah, but most of those players are 21 and under. Think about it. By the time you graduate college, traditionally you should be 22, 18 and 22. Yeah.
I know you're probably not into tennis, and this will be the last thing.
Actually, no, don't say that. That is one of the sports I want to start just playing for fun.
Did you watch the women's U.S. Open yesterday at all?
But I got the notification that somebody won, a teenager.
18-year-old, okay, listen. So, the U.S. Open is actually what it means. It's an open. Any amateur can qualify, but
really?
you gotta play through a 3 or 4 round qualifying opening before you even get to the real tournament. Okay.
Oh.
So this girl from Great Britain, her name's Emma Raducanu. Okay. So she's a mutt though. I hate to say mutt, but she's a mixture of just a lot of Filipino, Chile, but
So
she
she
was
got the best
in
of
Canadian. But she's been living in Great Britain, and so during Wimbledon, I shouldn't say ton because there's a D. Wimbledon, she had a panic attack and had to drop out, and everybody gave her a bunch of shit over it because she had a
Wow.
panic attack at like 18. Okay, so
Pressure. There's a lot of people watching.
She comes over to New York and she's got to play 4 matches just to qualify for the tournament. Okay, so she wins all of her qualifying matches. She makes the whole tournament not losing a set.
Wow.
Okay, at 18, she wins the U.S. Open.
Was there like top competition there? I mean,
yeah, no, she was. Yeah, she beat a bunch of ranked people to be able to get there, and she plays another teenager that's 19. So it's an 18-year-old versus a 19-year-old.
Is that the first time this ever happened?
Yeah. And she's the first like amateur qualifier to make it and run the table. Didn't lose a whole set. They automatic check $2.5 million for winning the U.S. Open. And then like everybody in England, like all these big like soccer players are like following her on social media.
We love
the Queen of England's like writing her a letter now.
God, are you kidding
like
me?
Lewis Hamilton, the F1 driver, is following her and stuff now. Like I hope she continues the success, but there's 2 ways that this could go. Like she could like not get a big head, but like, I mean, come on, at 18, she's pretty like, look, she's legal now, so I can say she's like an attractive woman. But at 18,
legal
like,
for purchase.
well, no, but what I'm saying though is like she is going to be the hot commodity. Like there's going to be like some other sports like celebrity like in their early 20s or like mid 20s.
Do you think she can like I didn't watch it, but like I said, did she look good enough? I mean, obviously she won.
No, she's hot. I mean, can you like look it up
like skill wise, no,
she's
to like
good.
run the
she's
table.
really, really good.
What's her?
She's good.
Spell the last name. Emma. What?
Emma. Just write Emma and then RAD. It should automatically auto-populate.
Emma R-A Raducanu.
Yeah, Ratacuno.
Let me see images. Oh yeah, she's a little cutie. Oh wow.
Exactly.
Wow.
Like she's already done like Vogue stuff and like
really?
Yeah, like I'm telling you, like this is gonna be either going 2 ways. Like she's either going to be the next big thing, or she's going to just like it's gonna be a big. I mean, at 18, think about that. You got to check for $2.5 million. Now you got to remember that you want it on U.S. soil, so U.S. is taking half.
Yeah, thanks.
Half.
Thanks. You played well. Thanks.
Yeah,
why don't they just write it for what it really is, then, if that's the case?
Yeah. Don't say it's 2.5. Just give me like the 1.25, and we'll be good to go.
Exactly.
And then I got to pay my agent.
Yep.
And then I got to pay my coach, and I'm probably left with about $800,000. But at 18, $800,000 is still a big amount of money to be able to have at 18.
And she'll get that difference back just in like endorsements and sponsors.
Endorsements, yeah, dude. She's going to be an automatic overnight millionaire, and to get a letter from the Queen.
Yeah, like is that the Queen just trying to like say face or something? Is she in trouble or something?
It's an aide that's probably writing it. The Queen,
with her signature
stamp.
Stamp.
The Queen has no idea who Emma Raducanu is. And by the way, we're also talking about the same Queen that allegedly was worried about Meghan Markle and how dark the baby was going to be.
Yeah. You know, dark
because
baby.
Emma, if you look at Emma, she's a little dark.
I know. I mean, like that's not. I mean, but it's that's not surprising, man. Like, is this?
Speaking of ginger, like, I mean, her grandson's the biggest ginger in the world.
Yeah, that's
Harry.
You could like be like racist towards like one ethnic group and receive racism from another. Like it's just a merry-go-round of.
But isn't it funny how like no matter what, like nobody's perfect. Like if you look at Prince Charles is going to be the next king of England, probably most likely. And the guy is practically bald. Like he has that hair on the side, the bozo.
Yeah.
and it's completely like shiny on top.
Doesn't matter,
like,
man. He has all the money in the world. You ever see the hot matrix, the hot or not matrix? Oh my god, you never watched this video? Basically, it's like from 10 years ago, and it's this guy. He's funny, and he's explaining like a graph of like women and men on like a scale, and like one side with women.
Oh, men can definitely be uglier than women. Like women have to hold up a bigger image.
Yeah, and he's like saying like, think of a graph, right? On the y-axis, you got hotness, cuteness as far as girl, and craziness from 4 to 10.
Oh my god! An Arcturian knows Y and X axis.
Oh yeah, man.
God.
Listen, an Arcturian. Oh man, that sounds like a Game of Thrones like type of culture. Arcturian.
Yeah, you're like Jason Momoa. It was like whatever Jason Momoa's like race was.
You know, I'm gonna go with that now. I'm an Arcturian. I'll go with that. But basically, and then on the other side was
you marry the Queen of Dragons, like like
Queen
your chick at the Queen of Dragons.
Oh,
remember,
yeah. That's
like
a huge
she's in a
responsibility.
fire.
That's a huge
I
responsibility.
know, like your chick has got her big old boobs out, and she's got like dragons like crawling all over and stuff. That's pretty hot as hell, man. But you don't want to piss her off. like if you come home late or she like finds a text and she goes Sakara. You remember like Sakare was like the phrase she had to say for the dragon to like
burn his ass.
To burn somebody up. Could you imagine like if you came home and you're late and you're like, baby, where you been at? And her little baby dragons are like just chilling out on the couch with her. And like you're like having to explain yourself, and she was like, let me see your phone. And you're like, no, I'm gonna go to bed. And then she was like, no, let me see your phone. And then she looks through the phone, and then she's not happy, and she just goes Dracarys. And then you just get like
marshmallows ass.
They roast you.
Can you imagine telling your friends that though? Telling your friends, hey, I met this chick. Yeah, she has dragons though. Like, bro, like what the what are you doing? You must really love this person.
That's worse than Lorena Bobbitt, chopping off that dude's penis. Like, you're gonna get
kill a
burned.
dragon. How are you supposed? I'm sure they died at one point. How did they die?
Well, you need one of the White Walkers with an ice spear to throw, and then you get your own ice dragon.
Oh shit! So it's a process.
Yeah, I guess you didn't. I guess you didn't finish watching Game of Thrones.
I tried, man. I tried for a little bit. It was just like when you're so far behind, it's just like whatever. I don't care. Whatever.
This has been a great conversation, though.
How's your boys doing in Miami?
My boys, they don't play till 4:15.
Oh yeah, damn, it's only 3 something. I know. I actually picked up. Speaking of that, my fantasy team, I picked up Trevor Lawrence. Hopefully, he's playing well.
Yeah, thanks for that invite, by the way.
What the fantasy football? I told you it's
it's because I'm white.
No, they're all white. I'm the only black person in this league. They're all white.
Okay.
One token white guy allowed in every league.
Yeah. All right, Serak, tell people how they can check you out on the weekly review podcast.
Of course, buddy. So you can check it out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iTunes, Facebook, and YouTube. Just search the weekly review. If that doesn't help, it's probably easier to search my name, which is Serak, Serak. I know, unfortunately, it's not spelled like the liquor, but I promise you I taste way better. Wow, I almost bit my tongue off right there. And the reason being is because I had my Invisalign in, and it gives me a lisp sometimes, and it kind of messes up my speech a little bit. So sorry if I sound like I'm mumbling.
Hey, can I give you a little bit of advice?
Yeah.
Don't go too white with the teeth.
With the teeth? Not too white?
Yeah, don't go too perfect with teeth.
Why?
Like, because the comparison. All right, so like here, I'll give you an example, and then I'll make this real quick. Okay.
Okay.
Like white people can get away with a little bit more like jacked up teeth because of the comparison between their white skin. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But like if you like, I think you're gonna go almost like too far. Like you're gonna have Steve Harvey type teeth.
No, not
like
big.
no, but like they're just like, I mean, comparison between like they're just gonna be straight and white. Like,
yeah, but like I know how to like adjust my lips to where it's not over.
didn't say that, by the way. I did not say that. I just want to let you know I'm not the white. The white guy did not say anything about lips.
I was practicing last night. Okay, I know how to smile with just the top teeth. I know how to smile with the top and a little bit of bottom. The top and bottom, just bottom. You gotta practice.
Because it does make you look threatening when you show your teeth.
Like a fucking shark. Great white. Great black,
yeah,
actually.
Like you want to be submissive.
Shark.
Like when I come with you, I don't smile at all. Like when I'm hanging out with you, I don't smile. I keep my head down.
What about the Joker or something? Like he's threatening.
No, I don't know. I'm gonna stop before I get myself in trouble.
Man.
Anyways, I didn't say that. That was Serak, the host of the weekly review. Anyway, Serak, I appreciate the time.
He'll bite your head off.
And that's the show for today. Thanks for listening to the Tuddle Daily Podcast. Hey, don't be a dickhead. Do us a favor. Like, share, and subscribe to the show. Also, check out the Tuddle category at 315live.com. The Tuddle Daily Podcast is brought to you by Starfire Transport, StitchYouUp.com, and PocketPairClub.com. Special thanks to show producer Vulture and co-host Serak. Show voiceover services brought to you by JCVoiceover.com and The Little Cheese Show. Download and subscribe to The Little Cheese Show everywhere podcasts are found. If you want to help support the show, go to paypal.me/TuddleOnTheRadio. You have something you want to say? Tuddle@gmail.com or leave a voicemail at 407-270-3044. To follow all Tuddle social media, go to Tuddle.net. That's Tuddle with 2Ds.net. Thanks again for all your support, and we'll see you tomorrow on the Tuddle Daily Podcast.
I get ignorant in normal situations.
What you mean?
What the fuck you mean?
What are you talking about?
Nigga, what the fuck is you talking about?
Oh, shit!